Hi, everybody. I want to talk a little bit now that we have been talking about the brain, about PTSD and severe PTSD. We know that PTSD comes from trauma, from severe trauma, a moment, an event, a time, a season that you have gone through that it was extremely traumatic in your life. And are moments that you feel a level of fear that cannot compare with other times or other levels of fear. You feel that your life is in danger, or the life of someone that you love so much. Like, for example, me when I was a year and a half with Jeffrey and changing hospitals and hospitals and hospitals and rehabilitation center rehabilitation, we live on the edge. I live every day, every moment, every hour, every minute on the edge. I was in alert, in total alert, every single moment and second for a year and a half. There was no second that I was not in absolute alert, because for me was dead or life if I was not paying attention over something minimum, like Jeffrey maybe starting to cough and I couldn't hear him, or starting to throwing up and I wasn't aware of, and he could be shocking, or many little details. So, or he started fever and many things. But we can be in a very abusive relationship for quite some time, and then we feel stuck and we don't know how to escape that relationship, and we start feeling fear. So then it happens when it got to the level of PTSD, of severe PTSD. They start talking sometimes about these flashbacks. Well, now that Jeffrey passed away, I have started to have like these little memories, but it's like memories when you're trying to remember something and you have a memory, good or bad, but you are remembering something. Is very different that when these memories basically harass you. It's like, or they come in a second, and they are so alive. These memories, they come to life. They're vivid memories. Like they last seconds, but it's like you are there. At that moment, you are there. There's levels of PTSD, of course, but so your heart start beating a lot, and you feel your mouth start getting dry. And many times, for example, this doesn't happen. Many times you are just having a good time with your friends, walking in the mall, and suddenly just going to store, going shopping, and suddenly out of nothing you start having a panic attack. Even if it's a small panic attack, you start like feeling that you need air, like a little bit like claustrophobic, and you feel getting your mouth dry, getting very dry, and you need water. You need water because you feel that if you don't get water, you're gonna pass out. Well, I came to find out because I started to investigate, and I started to investigate if the brain itself can change, be out of PTSD, out of trauma, And yes, the brain itself can modify and change actually. So we have the amygdala and the hippocampus. So the hippocampus is the one that takes a memory and an emotion and process that memory and that emotion and send it to the amygdala. The amygdala receives that memory and emotion together, and what the amygdala do is that they connect them. The amygdala connect the emotion and the memory that the hippocampus has processed through. And so the amygdala acts or reacts according to that emotion. Well, what happens is that when you have lived a very traumatic event or you have lived a season of trauma, is that the amygdala becomes very sensitive, and the hippocampus start bringing, because out of a lot of stress, extreme levels of stress, the cells that are inside the hippocampus die. So the hippocampus doesn't have the ability to process well that memory and that emotion. So now the hippocampus is throwing these memories out of the nowhere, and the emotion, throwing emotion memory, and the amygdala is becoming so sensitive because these are strong emotions and memory, the connection. And so the amygdala is the one that tell us how alert we need to be. It gives us the fight or flight moment. If the amygdala senses that we are in danger, the amygdala will make us react in a unique way so we can escape. And there's a lot of physical things that happen actually in our body. A heart rate, blood pressure, blood that goes to our big muscles to get strength. Many things happen in 1 second. Cortisol and dopamine comes and releases a lot. So we have the supernatural strength, and then immediately pass the moment that we needed to react like that, and everything goes down and calms down and everything goes back to normal. But when there is PTSD or severe PTSD due to trauma, this becomes a cycle, and the hippocampus shrink because many of out of the stress, the cells die inside. So the hippocampus shrink, the amygdala grows. So the amygdala now is a super amygdala and is sending all the time this gling 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 fire alarms that the house is in fire, and it's the fight or flight, freeze, fight or flight, freeze. And the person maybe doesn't feel like that all the time, but that's how it is inside. And so that person can be very short, and for whatever reason, in a conversation or something, and maybe the person reacts and come back in a way that it was unexpected, that the reaction that the person has. And it's because the amygdala is not judging well. And because now is not a good judgment sometimes, because the memory and the emotion and the fight or flight mode, now the frontal lobe, that is the wise person in the house, start also having problems. And this is the person that makes decisions, plans, judges, is the reasonable person. And now the reasonable person is trying to figure out what's going on. And so now the hippocampus, the amygdala, the front lobe are sending all these signals, flashes of memory, and now the memories are so vivid because the amygdala are sending these signals that there are moments that the three are engaged, and there are moments that is so vivid the memory that you feel that at that second the front lobe doesn't distinguish. It doesn't distinguish if it's right now, that is happening right now, or happened before, because it's so vivid. It's seconds only. But it is really bad for us, very bad for our emotions, very bad for our body, and then it causes what they call fatigue, chronic fatigue. And chronic fatigue is something that I can explain later how it works, but it can be very, very serious, because chronic fatigue basically is measured by the level of energy that has each cell in our body. And that's it's not difficult, but it's another thing. And so you become very tired. Your muscles, you're tired because you're living into this fight or flight mode. And then the doctor can tell you that you have fight or flight syndrome. So meaning you are in this thing. And it is very bad for the body. And it's so bad that it can cause death. Now, this can be reversed as well. It can be reversed if you start doing and practicing things that help you to take back these reactions, and you practice peace, to have peace. You practice like for example prayer, you reading very deep spiritual books, and you have a time that is for yourself, or things that really relax you and calms you down, things that you enjoy, and it will make you feel relaxed and happy, and or will heal your heart. In my case, because I'm a very strong believer in Jesus Christ, and I believe in the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit resides inside of me. And so because I know that I host the Spirit of God, I ask the Spirit of God, and I meditate and I prayed inward, and I ask Him to heal my memories, to heal me, to give me peace of mind, that those memories don't longer affect so bad my emotions, to take me to a different level of peace with Him, and to show me purpose, to give me understanding. And so that you start all those things as you go out of this PTSD. It takes a time, obviously. Sometimes took a lot of time to go in, or the event was so traumatic at one time. So it will take a little time and consistency. But it can reverse. It can reverse the damage that can cause with time PTSD in your brain. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that you learned something as I did when I was researching this as well. Okay,